climate of fear is taking hold among 2S LGBTQ plus people as they face increasing threats and hostility from increasingly organized extremist groups. This is manifesting in local municipalities who are banning pride flags and events, and in school boards like the York Catholic District School Board, who decided this week to not allow the flag to be flown outside of schools. Yesterday, when the Premier was asked whether or not he agreed with the board's decision, he said, and I quote, "I have no comment on that." Given the very real and growing hate facing Ontario's LGBTQ communities, does this Premier really have nothing to say on this?
Premier.
Mr. Speaker, Pride is a special time for us to recognize and celebrate Ontario's LGBTQ plus community. And I've proved it by going into the York Pride Parade, and I'm going to be going again this year. School boards have a responsibility to ensure each and every school in Ontario is a safe and inclusive space for all children. And I'll always support Ontario's LGBTQ plus community, and I look forward again for my third or fourth year going down to the York Pride Parade. And we're going to go down there, we're going to celebrate, we're going to have fun, and that's where I stand, and I think the Leader of the Opposition knows that.
Supplementary question, the member for Toronto Centre.
Words are important, but only effective when followed by real action. During Pride Month, rainbow flags will be raised across Queen's Park, City Halls, and many other public buildings, but not at the York Catholic District School Board, as 6 trustees voted against the rainbow flag. Yesterday, the Minister of Education offered empty words when asked about how he would keep students safe. Hours later, he issued a memo to school boards without even mentioning the rainbow flag, Speaker. What will this Conservative government actually do to protect students? I would offer him one suggestion. He can issue a ministerial directive to the school boards to ensure that the rainbow flags are flown at every single publicly funded school in Ontario. Thank you.
To reply, the Minister of Education.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. We believe that all children in Ontario, irrespective of their faith or heritage, sexual orientation or gender, their color of skin, they deserve to feel safe in a publicly funded school. And Mr. Speaker, yes, we have expressed disappointment with the school board's decision, and we have affirmed through a memo just yesterday, setting out a clear expectation that all publicly funded schools, English and French, Catholic and public, that they will find meaningful, positive ways to celebrate Pride. That is our expectation. And we will be, as a government, led by our Premier, visible, active, present at York's Pride Parade, as we have done for now 3 or 4 years, standing in solidarity with the community that, yes, has faced disproportionate levels of violence and bullying. We stand with these kids, we know they exist, and we are going to ensure they are safe within Ontario's publicly funded schools.
The final supplementary.
Speaker, thank you. The Minister talks about marching in one Pride. There's 60 Pride parades happening in Ontario, with the largest one actually in the city of...
Order.
The largest one being in the city...
Stop the clock. Member for Toronto Centre made a statement. It was completely parliamentary. Start the clock. Member for Toronto Centre has the floor.
Thank you, Speaker. The largest Pride parade in the world is actually in the city of Toronto. And this is where we actually see security insurance costs for this organization and prides across Ontario going up, largely due to the risk of violence and threats from right-wing extremists. Yet the government is cutting funding to Pride organizations. Pride Toronto received $250,000 in 2021, $170,000 less in 2022, and this year they were capped at $125,000 with half the money that they received just 2 years ago. Ipsos has reported that Pride Toronto contributes $589 million to Ontario's GDP and $37 million in direct provincial tax revenues just last year alone.
Question.
These cuts couldn't have come at the worst time. If you want to show up to march in the Pride Parade, I suggest you show up with a check. Will the Premier reinstate their funding this year?
Members will please take their seats. I will remind members to make their comments through the chair. To reply for the government, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and Sport.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As mentioned earlier, and a number of times, we're proud to support Pride Toronto and work towards that celebration to support 2S LGBTQI plus community and support what they are attempting to do. And this Pride Festival is so very important. Now, we've had 2 meetings with organizing committee at the Pride Festival about a month ago. This is the first time we've really heard of a problem with financing. So I would like to offer, when this event is over and we can settle down and sit down and talk about exactly what the concerns are if insurance costs have come up and other things are happening, it would be nice if we could know about it to show how we could show our support versus a couple of days before the festival is about to start. Mr. Speaker, we take this seriously and we do show support through Reconnect Festival, Event Program in Ontario, Cultural Attraction Funds. So it's not as if we've been
Take your seat. The government House Leader will withdraw his unparliamentary comment.
John.
Thank you. Start the clock. The next question. Member for Ottawa.